subscribe, hit thumbs up. Welcome to the channel. All right, for those of you who don't know what a middleman business is, it is simply a business where you tap into a particular industry. For instance, I do the moving industry mainly. So what you do is you create a service listing online and you partner with service businesses near you, and you find customers for those businesses. And every time you do, you take a deposit. That's your commission. You get paid. You don't do the work, someone else does. So what I do with the moving industry is I don't do moving. I don't do any of that. I simply find customers for other moving companies, send the work to them, keep my deposit, and I'm done. Smash thumbs up. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is going to be a powerful video. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate messages in the comments. I typically get that because I don't think the traditional way. I think as of 2020, everything changed economically. And so if you don't change the way you think, you'll get left behind. Somebody put amen in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. So this video is live. So if you have a question or comment, you're welcome to drop it. I don't get to do this much, so smash thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. Let me know if you're a new subscriber. I'll shout you out. And also, if you have any questions or comments, you are more than welcome to let me know and put it in the comments, and I'll try to get to it in this video. And so, but again, if you want to learn how to start a middleman business from your phone without doing any of the work, working about 1 hour a day, my goal is to get all students to about $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. I know it doesn't make you rich, but most people's expenses and bills are less than 10K per month. So you get to enjoy life. You don't need a job. That works for a lot of people, including myself. So if that's something you want to do, click the link for the free training in the video description below, or put the word middleman in the video description below. All right, so people have been going nuts. They've been going crazy. Why? They've been talking about the housing market crash. I've seen the videos all over the internet. Now, I'm not a realtor. I don't have any homes to sell you. I bought a house in 2020, sold the house in 2022 for double what I paid for it. If that doesn't tell you that the price of houses are just over inflated, I don't know what's going to tell you. For a house to double in 2 years is insane. And so, but I had a conversation earlier with a friend of mine. We were talking about how people are obsessed and addicted to buying these houses. And it's putting people in a lot of financial, I almost said something, but it's stressing a lot of people out. It's causing financial anxiety because for some reason people believe that somehow a home or calling yourself a homeowner validates you. And I just want to tell you a couple things. Number one, don't be obsessed with buying these houses. No one can tell the difference between who's renting a house and who's buying a house. Well, the lender and the banks can. Your bank account can. But number one, don't be obsessed with buying these houses. Yes, they were good ideas for your parents and grandparents because they had long-term jobs, and we're going to get into that. But you don't. I don't. There are no long-term jobs. Who do you know that's had a job even 5 years, let alone 30? So, Am I telling you not to buy a house? No, but I am telling you something else, and we'll talk about it. But I'm going to give you today, I'm going to give you 5 signs, my personal 5 signs that I believe the housing market is headed for a correction, is headed for a crash. What that crash is going to look like, I have no idea. There's so much fake money in the economy, it can prop any market up. They printed, just want you to know, in the past, probably in the past 5 years, the government has printed, aka borrowed, so much money from the Fed. This is debt. Remember, they tell you stay out of debt, but the government is in almost 40 trillion of debt. You make it make sense. And so when the government borrows money and it goes into the economy, it goes into the economy because the government has to use it, then that drives the cost of everything up. That's how you get inflation, hyperinflation, etc. And probably half of today's money supply came from the last 3 years of borrowing. Just let that sink in. which I'm not even here to talk about this, but again, that's one of the reasons that saving money is a terrible idea. It ain't just a bad idea, it's a terrible idea to save money today. It's a terrible idea. Your money is just dying. Let me not get into that because I know you guys are going to go nuts in the comments. Let's get into what I talk about. I'm going to try to stay focused because you know I love to chase my bunnies. And so I'm going to try to stay focused and stay on topic. So hit thumbs up if you're ready to get into what I believe are 5 clear signs, clear indicators that the housing market is about to crash. Because you guys are going nuts, you're saving your pennies, you're ready to buy these houses for whatever reason. And by the way, you never own a house unless there's no property taxes. I'm just saying. And so we'll talk, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll get into it. We'll talk about it. We'll cover all this. All right. So everybody's panicking about the housing market crash. I know, but here's what I'm going to ask you. What if I told you that the real danger is not the crash? Think about that. It's actually, because you're obviously going to say, well, what's the real danger? Glad you asked. The real danger is not the housing market crashing, but how you buy the house. The real danger, I'll say it again because it's worth repeating, especially for the people in the back. What if I told you the real danger isn't the housing market crash, but it's buying the house the wrong way? All right, I'll break it down because I know you're on the other end of this video going, what are you talking about? Buying a house? There's only one way to buy a house? All right, let's talk about it because I told you, I'm here to change the way you think. I'm here to disrupt your mindset where you will never, ever look at anything you buy the same. And guess what? You don't have to be rich to have this mindset. By the way, mindset comes before money, just letting you know. All right, so I know you guys are going nuts in the comments, but we're going to go through this anyway. All right, so I'm going to show you 5 signs that I believe a crash is near. These are my signs. You don't have to be anybody else's signs. It's just what I, Shon-Jhon, aka the Middleman CEO, this is what I believe, right, are clear indicators that we're headed for a crash, a correction. Again, what's that going to look like? I don't know. But we are headed for some really hard times, especially the next 3 to 5 years. How bad? I don't know, but bad. Is that fair? Bad. All right. And even though the market is about to crash and imminent correction is near, you still shouldn't buy a house. I wouldn't if I were you, unless you follow the ACL formula. Now, what's the ACL formula? Glad you asked. We're going to get into it. All right, so really quickly, my 5 indicators. Here we go. Number 1, mortgage defaults are rising in America. Foreclosures way up. Clear indicator, a mortgage default simply means they ain't paying their mortgage. All right? And when money's not being made, somebody's going to catch a fade, right? And it's going to be you, the homeowner. All right, number 2, home prices are stalling in key markets. This is a great indicator. Home prices are stalling or just dropping in key markets in the area I live in DFW, in my zip code, which is, if I'm not mistaken, we might be in all of the Metroplex, in all of DFW, we might be the number 3. Let me see if I can pull it up online and get that information. The number 3 richest zip code in all of DFW. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can find this information. But somebody told me, oh, there it is, number 3. So number 1 is South Lake, which has ridiculous homes, look like castles. Number 1 is South Lake. Number 2 is Colleyville. Wow, I didn't know that. I would have thought it was like University Park or Highland Park. So it's number one is South Lake, number two is Colleyville, number three is the Viridian Master Plan community in Arlington, Texas. That's where I live, in the Viridian. Number four is University Park. A lot of money out there. I think Mark Cuban might live out there. And Highland Park. So those are the top five. The neighborhood I live in is number three. The reason I'm bringing that up is to tell you that even in my neighborhood, the third richest zip code in all of DFW, houses are struggling to sell. People are struggling to sell their houses. They're sitting on the market. The house that we sold, and we bought in 2020, sold in 2022, that house is now listed for sale and has been listed for about the past 4 months. They've dropped the price maybe 3 times and still cannot sell. One of the big reasons is they overpaid for the house. It wasn't worth what they paid for it. That's why we sold it to them, right? So home prices are stalling. Number three, interest rates are high. Yes, I know they're lower than what they were 20, 30 years ago, but they are high and they are crushing affordability. So that's hurting. Number four, inventory is rising. Fewer buyers, more sellers. Supply and demand. Inventory is rising and not a lot of people are qualified to buy these homes. So if you want to buy a decent home, $500,000, that's a decent home today, sadly, here in Texas, then that's going to require 20% down. Oh, what's 20% of 500 grand? $100,000. Oh, yeah. So who's sitting on $100,000? Not many people. Exactly. So these houses are struggling to sell. There are townhomes around me that's 400 and up. And number five, consumer debt is skyrocketing. You know why? Because you guys like to spend money on things you can't afford that don't make money for you. You like to swipe the credit card and take a vacation. I know you're stressed. I know you work hard. I know that you deserve the vacation time. But are you on vacation or is vacation on you? So when you swipe that card and spend your $5,000 on vacation and that week goes by, what now? Oh, you have to pay back that $5,000, huh? Plus interest. Oh, now that vacation is 5,000 and now that vacation is 7,500. Ouch. So just think about that. So all signs are pointing to the market cooling or a crash. I've said that. But here's the truth. A crash doesn't mean it's time to buy a home. I'll say it again. Here's the truth. A crash doesn't mean it's time to buy a home. You know what it means? It's time to own an asset. This is your first challenge. Understanding that when a house goes on sale, it does not mean you are required to buy it. Your first obligation is to acquire an asset. Number one, we're going to talk about the ACL formula, all right? So A times C equals L, A times C equals L. Let me know if you understand it in the comments. Hit thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. A is for assets, C is for cash flow, L is for liability. This is how the rich buy things. The poor, they don't shop this way. They just buy things with paychecks, buy things with credit cards. The rich use assets to buy things. So here's an example. You swipe your credit card to go on vacation. $5,000 vacation, it's going to cost you $5,000 and some. A better way, using the ACL formula with the vacation being the liability, would be to first, before you take that vacation, acquire some type of asset. Let the asset make $5,000. Then use the $5,000 from the asset to pay for the vacation. Now the vacation is free. Because you didn't pay for it, the asset did. Where there's vacation, where there's houses, where there's cars, the same concept. Asset times cash flow equals liability. So most people buy the liability first, which is the house, you know that. Then they work 30 years to pay it off. 30 years, 30 freaking years. I've signed this dotted line. You guys are patting me on the back, and you telling me I got to work this job for 30 years just to pay off a house that I might be sick of in a year or two? I'll say this because I really believe this. Only the poor and the middle class are out there chasing houses. There are houses around me that are for rent. You can look it up online for $9,000. I've seen them $10,000 per month. There are people that are coming to this neighborhood, spend $9,000 a month on rent, stay for 2 years and go. But you guys, you want to buy these houses. So this formula changed my life, honestly. The ACL, asset times cash flow equals liability. So if your assets, if your asset cash flow can fund the liability, if it can't, you're moving backwards. So you don't want to be in a position where it's your paycheck. So what asset should you start with? There are a lot of assets you can start with that can make you money, and then you use the money to get to buy the liability. By the way, a house that you live in, I keep saying liability, and I know you guys haven't put the two together. A house that you live in and pay a mortgage on is a liability. I don't care what the banks say. It's a liability to you. It's an asset to the bank because it makes money for the bank. It's a liability for you because it takes money out of your pocket. You want to know the difference between an asset and a liability? Follow the cash flow. If cash flows to you, asset. If cash flows away from you, liability. When your mortgage is due each month and you have to pay the mortgage, does the house pay you or do you pay for the house? You pay for the house, liability. And now a quick example would be, of course, if you had a renter or a tenant in the house, they paid for it. Now it's an asset. So now you know the difference. So here's what I did to change my life, to change my thinking. I started, well, you guys know my story, but just to help you along the way, what assets should you start with? So for me, I believe the best asset for beginners would be just a simple cash flowing middleman business model. Again, I do it in the moving industry. You don't have to do what I do. There's home cleaning. You could partner with home cleaners. You could partner with painters, handyman, plumbers. You can partner with graphic designers, website designers, lawn care services, pool care, pest control, window tinting, vehicle detailing, window cleaning, garage repair. I'm just calling out a lot of them because I have a bunch of students who do a bunch of different ones. And you can just partner with these companies near you and say, hey, I'm going to bring you customers. You just go out and do the work. I'm going to take a deposit from the customer every time. That's my money. You keep the rest, and you're going to keep making money. And by the way I want you to set it up is fully automated. You don't even have to talk to customers. So pretty easy. We're going to be doing a video of how we set up our business. You guys get to see that. We're going to break it into 10 episodes of how I and my co-founder built our middleman business. And we'll let you see behind the scenes how easy it is and how it works. Very simple, very easy. It's going to be fun. We got that video is going to be dropping soon. It's going to be a 10-part episode. And we're going to take you from A to Z on how we built and set up a middleman business and how we make money. And so if you guys want to see that, just put a 1 in the comments. Get excited about that. It's going to be really cool. But again, the best asset for beginners, probably something simple, just a middleman business. So you connect the customer to the service provider. We call them ISPs, independent service pros. That's it. You earn money without doing the work. An example, again, would be a moving company, a cleaning company, junk removal, painting, pet care, pretty much any service that people already need. That's what you would do. That's what you would do. Middleman businesses, they let you earn probably on low end about $3,000 per month. No office, no equipment, no experience. You just need a phone, a website, and a VA who's going to take care of all the day-to-day. Super easy. You'll probably work about 1 hour a week, and if that, because it's so easy, it runs without you, but you need to be involved just a little, right? So listen, your next step, here's what you should do. Here's your action plan. You ready? Write this down. Your next step should be learn to build your asset. Remember, I told you ACL, asset times cash flow equals liability. You need the asset first. So learn to build your asset. Stop saving for a house. One of the worst. People tie up. So I just told you, a $500,000 house with 20% down is $100,000. How long is it going to take you to save up 100 grand? Exactly. Forever. Why even put yourself through that torture? Go develop the asset. Use the money. Learn to develop your asset. Stop saving for a house. Build the asset that pays for the house. I'll say it again. Stop saving money to buy the house. Build the asset that buys the house for you. Right? If you had a choice, I could buy the house for you or you could buy the house for you. Who would you go with? You'd say, Shon, you buy the house for me. I would. Exactly. So develop the asset. Let the asset do it. If you want a step-by-step, I created a full training for the Middleman CEO, 1 hour CEO training. And so I'll show you how to start your first cash flow business and just working, like I said, a few hours a week. Even if you've never done this before, it's pretty easy. If you want to be wealthy, like I teach people, listen, you got to stop thinking like a worker. You have to stop thinking like an employee. You have to change the way you think. You have to start thinking like a boss. Even if you've never been a boss, you got to start thinking like a boss, right? So, or even better, think like a middleman. Connect the dots. Middleman is just matchmaking. Think about this. Have you ever, a couple things, has someone ever come to you, friend, family, stranger, anyone, and said, hey, can you recommend such and such? And then you say, yeah, there's a cool restaurant. I've tried it. It's great. Go check it out. And they go there. They spend $200 there. The restaurant's happy. The customer's happy. And all you did was middleman. You found a customer, sent them to the business, and everybody got paid and fed. Well, except you, because you didn't know what your value was. You didn't know how good your position was. But now, after watching this video, you know, wait a minute. If I'm going to refer you, where's my kickback? And so it's essentially the same thing. I just teach you how to get paid up front. So it would have worked this way. When that person reached out and say, hey, can you recommend a restaurant? You'd have said, absolutely. Here's a good restaurant. By the way, that's going to cost you $150 up front in the deposit. They're going to pay you. You're going to send them to the restaurant. You got paid. Restaurant got paid. The family got fed. Everybody's happy. Everybody walks away happy. So, but if you want to be wealthy, you got to stop thinking like a worker, think like a middleman. And all of this starts with asset first. If you could just plant in your mind, asset first, asset first, asset first, asset first, asset first, asset first. Before you buy the thing, the liability, always acquire, develop, get, obtain, build, create, asset first, asset first. Asset over liabilities, yes, but ACL, asset times cash flow, can get you the liability. So again, I'm not telling you don't buy a house. I'm just telling you don't buy a house if your paycheck is your only source of income. Don't buy a house if you're going to need this paycheck for 30 years because you won't have that job for 30 years. But Shon, if I lose this job, I'll get another one. There's no guarantee that you'll get another one. There's no guarantee it's going to pay you well enough. But Shon, houses build equity. Not today. They used to, but they went to an all-time high. Things that are at an all-time high don't typically build equity because if you buy it at an all-time high, chances are it's just going to come down. The smart people don't buy at the top. They buy at the bottom and then ride it up. So houses always bring equity. No, they don't. That person who bought my house has lost, and continue to lose and still can't sell the house. So miss me with that equity stuff. The time for equity came, it went. Will it happen again? Yes, there will be equity in houses one day again. Just not today for most homes. Why? Because the market is at an all-time high. You can't get equity unless something goes up. But it's already at a record, never before, ever in history, high, all-time high. Robert Kiyosaki talks about this a lot, and I give him credit for that. Don't buy at the top. Let it crash and burn. Then you buy. If you buy a house now, no equity. because it's just going to crash. If you buy a house after the crash, equity. Thank you. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm just being real with you, okay? So I'm just letting you know. So and you start with the asset, let the asset buy your freedom. That's how you do it. So is the housing market about to crash? I believe so. I believe we're very, very close. When? I don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know when. But I know one thing, houses aren't moving. And by the way, a lot of you realtors out there, you're getting people into these bad relationships with these mortgages. A lot of you out there, because I've lost a lot of respect for a lot of realtors that are out there just saying, hey, now is a good time to buy. Stop lying to these people. It's not a good time to buy. There is no equity for them if they buy right now. Stop that. Stop telling them that. Just, I don't know how I got on that. Just drives me crazy. Stop doing that. Do what's best for these families, not what's best for you. So tell them I said that, and I'll be here because I got time. Because I ain't got no job. I'm Tommy from Martin. I don't have a job. And I don't want one. Nothing wrong with a job, but I like freedom. I like spending time with my family. I like being in my office. I don't want to go to your jobs. I've had some crappy jobs. Good Lord. I don't want to do that again. So, but look, will the market crash? Eventually, yes. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know when. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about the housing market. I just know that if you buy a house with a paycheck, you're going to meet that paycheck for 30 years. That ain't a good deal for you. That's bad. I know if you live in a house and you pay a mortgage, it ain't an asset. It's a liability. Follow the cash flow. Right? I know that houses are at an all-time high. I wouldn't touch anything that's at an all-time high. They're not even worth what they're charging for them. Trash. Don't use the money on a house. Use the money to acquire an asset and create cash flow. Start a business. Get some cash flow. Drop 100 grand on the house. No, thank you. You do that. I won't do that. I'll take my 100 grand and I'll go start a business. Sure, you'll have your house right now. Good luck for the next 30 years. I'll come back in 2, 3, 4, 5 years and my business will be making a ton of money and I'll buy whatever house I want. And I won't be stressed out or worried that they're going to fire me or I'm going to lose my job because I don't need a job to pay for it. The asset that I acquired while you put your money on a down payment, I put my money on an asset. I started a middleman business. My middleman business make $10,000 a month. Guess what I can afford? Any house that the mortgage is $10,000 a month or less. But what if you lose your job? You're in trouble. What if I lose my job? Doesn't matter. Who cares? The asset takes care of me, not the paycheck. I can do a whole video about that. By the way, I feel like this was a really good video. Let me know in the comments if you understand what I'm talking about. I know I'm kind of ahead of my time telling you guys the things I tell you. Don't save money. Don't trust your job's going to be there. Never have one source of income. Never buy a house if your paycheck is your only source of income, or if that's the way you want to pay it. Don't stack money in the bank and just leave it in the bank. I know I get a lot of pushback. I know, but those who know and understand and can see the future, maybe I'm a futurist, I don't know. But for those who can see the future and understand, they know it hits them and they go, wait a minute, I got it. He's right. I've been saving money for the past 10 years. Where has that gotten me? Nowhere. I bought a house, 30-year mortgage. Now I'm wondering if I'm going to get fired any day now because of AI and all this other stuff. He was right. I should develop an asset. And it's not too late for you. This is your wake-up call. This is your wake-up call. So even if the market crashed, you still shouldn't buy a house the traditional way. Paycheck? No, don't do it. So, but I've given you 5 warning signs of a crash. And I've shared with you my asset times cash flow equals liability, my ACL formula. I've never heard anybody talk about that. I know I made it up. If it sounds corny, that's fine, but it works for me. Asset times cash flow, acquire the asset, let the asset create cash flow, use the cash flow to buy the liability, i.e. the house, the car, the vacation, whatever. Whatever you're going to spend money on and it does not make money for you, that's the liability. And again, you guys can go on working 40 hours a week until you're blue in the face. Somebody's going to buy your life from you if you're willing to sell it. But I don't want you to do that. That's why I put the free video link in the comments below. If you understand anything I'm saying in here, and if it makes sense or registers with you at all, even if it makes you go, you know what, you might be onto something, smash the thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. I know there's probably a lot of realtors who watch this channel. There's a lot of good realtors, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of suck realtors out there too who know that these families are in very, very violent financial situations, toxic, savage financial situations, and they still find a way to get them into these houses, understanding that this is a 30-year mortgage obligation. By the way, just in case you didn't know, the word mortgage, if I'm not mistaken, is derived from a French word that means death pledge. Death pledge. A 30-year death pledge. Now, am I telling you don't buy a house? No, I'm just saying don't buy a house the traditional way. And if they're telling you, or if you're buying it for equity, you need to wait. But if you got stupid money, you want to buy a house, fine. If you got cash flow from an asset, you want to buy a house, perfect. But if you're sitting there going, how am I going to pay my mortgage? And the first thing that comes to your mind, and the only thing is my paycheck from my job, don't buy the house. Don't buy it. It's a setup. It's a setup. Don't buy it. Again, I'll give you my 5 signs and I'll leave you guys with this. Number one, that I believe a housing market is about to occur. Number one is mortgage defaults on the rise by the millions. Number two, home prices are stalling and home prices are stalling and not going up. In fact, they are dropping in key markets, very key markets, including the one I'm in here in DFW. Number three, interest rates are still high. Yes, I know it's lower than what they've been traditionally, but because of what the houses cost, those two combined are very toxic, the interest rates and the housing costs. So it crushes the affordability. Number four, inventory is rising and staying on the market for a long time. Fewer buyers, more sellers, houses are sitting on the markets over and over and over. Number five, consumer debt is skyrocketing to the moon. You guys always talk about Bitcoin to the moon. Guess what else is there? Yes, consumer debt already on the moon. Bitcoin won't be the first there. Consumer debt is already there, followed by student loan debt. So people are stretched thin. Their pockets are beat up. They've gotten, like, people have exhausted bank accounts that's just going, ooh, I can't do no more. I can't do no more. I've been stretched as far as you stretching these dollars as far as the eye can see. Like, they've been stretched from the east to the west, and these dollars are coming out of your bank account going, I can't do no more. I can't do any more than what I've done. Woo! Preaching better than y'all, amen. And look, so all signs are pointing to a cooling market. If it hasn't happened already near you, it's about to happen. Or a crash, whether you call it a cooling market, a crash, or a slowdown, does not matter. Listen, and this, what I'm about to say now, probably the most important part of this video, and this is not about houses only. What I'm about to say to you right now, you ready? Real talk. I'm gonna look at you, you look at me. All right? Eyes up, chin up, chest out. Here we go. We are headed, you and I, everybody, we're headed for some really hard times in this country. I don't know how hard they will be, but it looks like we are getting to the top of the roller coaster. Now, you know, when that roller coaster, when you get on, you clamp down, you buckle in, you got that safe, secure job, you feel insecurity, and then all of a sudden that thing starts ticking up. And that's every tick is the years that's going by, the policies and whatnot. And then it gets to this top, and then it stops and everything goes silent. That's where we are. We're at the top. Everything's silent. Shh. You can hear a pin drop. And you know what's next? The fall, screaming, the yelling at the top of the lungs, the puking on the way down, the passing out, all of it. It's after you get to the top. And I believe, hit thumbs up if you agree with me, I believe we're at the top of this economy. And this economy is the roller coaster to financial purgatory. And I believe we're at the tippy top. And at some point, we're going down. Now, what the down looks like, I do not know. I'll be honest with you. I pray it ain't as bad as it could be. But I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm just looking at the signs now and going, wait a minute. Homelessness is on the rise everywhere in this country. Defaults on homes are up. People are losing their jobs at record numbers. It used to be a big idea. It used to be a big event to fire 5 people in a day. Now they're firing 5 people per minute. Companies are generating record revenue. It would make sense. I'm betting now. It would make sense. If you're okay with me venting, let me know. But it would make sense from a business perspective. If a company is losing money, to lay people off. Gotcha. Makes a ton of sense. I don't like it, but brother, sister, I understand. I understand. Your company's losing money. It's a sinking ship. You've got to get people off. You've got to get expenses low. You got to cut. I gotcha. I hate it. It sucks. Miss Mary's been a great worker for this company for 10 years. You got to let her go. I know. I understand that. I understand if a company is losing money that there's probably going to be some layoffs. I got it. I do not like it. I wish the company was doing better, but I understand that. But what I don't understand is when a company is doing better than they've ever done before. And they're bringing in record revenue, not just record revenue, even more important, record profits. And they still fire the employees. And they don't just fire them, they mass fire them. Cut the whole department, cut the whole store. Companies are doing great and mass layoffs around the country. There used to be events for mass hirings. Now there are events for mass firings. And here's the thing. Those people, you've been on Tickety Top, you've been there. Those people who are losing their jobs and crying on TikTok, I don't know why, but they do. I understand that they're going through some things, just sharing it with the world, probably just not my thing. So, but to each its own, to each its own. I genuinely pray for those people that they end up, doing well or doing better and getting back on their feet ASAP. But again, we are headed for some dark times in this country. Just look at the ingredients. I'm from South Louisiana, right? So when we have this good dish called gumbo, right? A lot of people try to do it. They try to do it here in Texas. It's South Louisiana. Let it be. Let it be. Okay? Let it be. If the best pizza is in New York, or I know Chicago's probably going crazy right now, or Chicago, let it be. You guys do the pizza. You're in charge of the pizza. You do it the best. You do it the best. If the best tacos are I don't know where street tacos, maybe Jersey. I don't know. You guys let me know. Who's got the best street tacos? Maybe here in Texas. Then you guys do it. If Texas has the best barbecue, some people say it. I'm just saying. I've had other barbecue. But you do it. You do what you're best at. We'll put you in charge of that because that's where you excel. We'll let you do it. And that's the ingredients. How did you build this? It tastes awesome. How did you build this? Well, I put a little this, a little that, a little seafood, a little blah, 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 right? Well, the same thing with the economy, same thing with what you see around you. What do you see? The economic gumbo is brewing. What's in the pot? Oh, we put a little bit of high interest rates in the pot. We put a little bit of consumer debt in the pot. We put a little bit of student loan debts through the roof, thank you, Obama, in the pot. We put a little bit of printing $10 trillion in the past 3 years in the pot. Put a little bit of homelessness in the pot. We put wars around the world that people make a lot of money. War is profitable. We put a little bit of that in the pot. We put a little bit of tension in some areas in the pot. We put a little bit of AI in the pot. We put a little bit of workers who can do your job while you sleep, who live in the Philippines. You want $30 an hour, they'll work for $3 and do your job. We put a little bit of that in the pot. Immigrants come into the country, whether legal or illegal, does not matter, but they need work. Put a little bit of that in the pot. We put a little bit of leverage in the pot. What's that? Oh, remember your coworker who got fired? Yeah. Did they replace her? No. Well, who's doing the work that she used to do? They gave it to you? So now you're doing your work and her work. Did they give you a pay raise? No? Ouch. How about a little bit of zero interest from the banks in the pot? Don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger. I'm just trying to wake you up. I'm just trying to wake you up. And if these are the ingredients, then let me ask you, how do you expect the gumbo to taste? And when I say gumbo, I'm speaking financial gumbo, the economy. If I've given you all of these horrible, rotten, disgusting ingredients, what do you think the food's going to taste like? Not good. Hence why I keep saying, I don't know where we're headed, but I know we're going there very quickly, and it ain't going to be pretty. Now, with all that being said, because I probably scared you enough, I didn't mean to, the idea of me sharing this is to wake you up. Not scare you. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to be scared. I'm just coming to say, hey, stop playing the game the way you've been playing it. Stop playing the new money game by the old money rules. They don't work. A house used to be a good purchase. Don't touch them. Stacking money in the bank was a great idea because banks paid interest. They pay 0% interest now. Don't stack money in the bank just to stack money in the bank and leave it there. Hey, if your job is your only source of income, get another source of income. I know jobs used to be safe and reliable. Not anymore. You better get another source of income. You're going to lose that job. Now, ironically, all of the jobs that people hated doing, plumbers, moving, home cleaning, vehicle tinting and detailing and graphic design and roofing and on and on and on, all of these outside or inside labor jobs are the safest jobs today. Think about that. They were jobs just 2 years ago nobody wanted. Now you got to have it. That's why I love doing the middleman business, because one of the things is the companies that we partner with, the service companies, they ain't going nowhere. They gonna be here, honey, and they gonna make money. And you can partner with them and help them have more work while at the same time getting yourself paid. Put middleman in the comments if you want to learn how to do it. By the way, you see the shirt, Quote Buddy, sponsor of this channel. We just dropped it. Another middleman company. All right, you guys can sit there and pretend you're not listening. I'm giving you the game. What you do with it, well, that's up to you. All right, That's all I got for you. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck up out of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day. And I hope that the things I said on this channel don't frighten you, but wake you up so that you can start taking action today so you don't get washed away by the economic flood that is coming. A lot of people are going to be swept away. Don't be one of them. Save yourself, save your family, save the ones you care about. If you say no to changing, if you say, Shon, I've heard everything you said, I agree with it, but I'm going to have to say no, then you've said yes by default to struggle life, to getting washed away, to getting swept away, to financial purgatory, to not figuring it out, to passing down generational struggle to your kids and their kids. I don't know about you, but I don't want to live that way. I got to go. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. If you guys have any questions for me, you can email me at middlemanceoinfo@gmail.com. If you have any questions about getting into the masterclass, if you're sitting there and you're going, hey, I want to work with you, bro. Teach me how to build my own middleman business from my phone while I sit at my house and make money. I can do that for you. It's not hard to do. Uber does it every day. Airbnb does it every day. Fiverr does it every day. Craigslist, Yelp, Thumbtack, Tinder, they all do it every day. You don't have to make as much as they do. I hope you do, but even if you can make 10, 20,000 a month doing it, still a win. So you know what to do. Tap the link in the video description below, or go ahead and put the word middleman in the comments below. But you're welcome to email me if you have questions and you're ready to get into the middleman class. I'll tell you what, I'll leave you with this. For the first 5 people who email me about getting into the middleman CEO masterclass, you're ready to get in, I'll hit you with a discount, and that's going to change your life, and we could get your business started up and running hopefully in 7 days. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll see you in the training. Otherwise, again, pay attention to what's going on around you. Be smart about what you're seeing. Make good decisions with your money. Hard times are coming. Oh, by the way, let me end with this. There's a YouTube channel on here. I can't remember the lady's name. And her channel's got like millions and millions of subscribers and views. Like, just unbelievable. And I was listening to her do an interview the other day. And I'm not the smartest guy. And I don't have a fraction of the followers or the views that this lady has. And she said, I think she's from the UK maybe. And she said, the guy asked, he said, what should you do for the average person right now who's struggling financially and worried about tomorrow? What should you do? And she said, oh, you should save up about 6 months of emergency funds right now. And you know me, I don't like emergency accounts. They used to be a good thing because saving money in the bank actually made you money through banks paying you interest. Now that the banks pay 0 interest, that means they don't pay you anything. And you give them free product, direct deposit, and they sell it, interest rates, to other people. Credit cards, loans, whatever. They make money, they give you nothing. They repeat the process over and over. In fact, they 10x the credit based on the amount you give them, fractional reserve rate. We're not going to get into all that. But it blew my mind that, she gave this advice. I was sitting there thinking, man, with all these followers, all these views, she's got to be a smart chick. I'm sitting there, I'm listening. And then she said that. And I went, man, either I'm really off on this, because these people, they have to be smarter than me. I barely graduated high school. In fact, I still believe to this day, they graduated me. I didn't graduate. They graduated me. I was a troubled kid. I was never at school, and I graduated. They graduated me. I didn't graduate. They graduated me. And I was an honors grad. Go figure. I believe because they needed another honors grad, and my name came up. There's no way I earned it. No way. And so I'm sitting there and I'm going, because oftentimes, man, my insecurities will kick in, and I'll be like, there's no way I'm smarter than these people. Maybe I'm wrong. I got to be wrong. Maybe saving money in the bank in an emergency account is a good idea. I'm tripping. And she went on to explain it, and she was like, and I might review the video if I can. And she was like, yeah, you save money for about 6 months in case anything happens, and that's what you do. And I was sitting there like, Man, first of all, the average person in America don't have, like 80% of Americans have less than 5,000 in the savings account. 80%, that's pretty much most. That is most, pretty much all. So pretty much all don't even have 5,000. Let's say you live just a modest life, a decent life. We're not poor, we're not rich, just a middle class life. Give me my board. God, y'all got me into this. I love doing this, by the way, because somebody told me I need to write a book about all this, put everything in a book. I think I'm going to do that. I need some good book names. So give me some book names. I'll let you in on the book sales if you give me the good name. So let's look at this real quick. So she was like, so let's say the average person, let's say in America, USA. Hope you guys can see it. Hope it's not backwards. Forgive me if it is. The average person in America makes whatever amount, right? 50K. And she's saying you should save up 6 months of your living expenses. Let's say your living expenses, you got a car with a family. Let's say you're with a family, you got a car, $1,000 for the cars and the insurance. It's more than that, I know, but let's just leave it at $1,000. You got your food, your gas, your utilities. We'll call that for the month another $1,000. That's $2,000. Then you have your rent or your mortgage. We'll call that $2,500. So about $3,500. Well, I know there's daycare. I know there's a bunch of other things, but I'll just leave those out for now and just keep this small and simple. So let's say $3,500 is what your living expenses are. I know most of you are going, $3,500. I wish. I'm the same way. Try doubling that. Okay. So, but 6 months, $3,500. And that's a modest life. $3,500 for 6 months is, if I'm not mistaken, let's see. So, all right, I'm trying to do the math. I told you I'm not that great. So 3,500 times 6, that's going to be 18,000, and then maybe 3. So we'll just go with 21,000. I could be wrong. 21,000. The average, okay, again, 80% of America, less than 5,000 in their account. She said that they should save 6 months. Sweetheart, they've been struggling just to save 5. Now you want them to save another 25,000? No, another 15, 16,000 on top of that? How? You tell me, how? And so this blew my mind because, again, I'm always like, these folks, they got all these viewers, they got this big channel, they gotta know more than me. Maybe I'm wrong. I need to look at this again. Because I'm not hey, if I say it, it's the gospel. No. That's why I always ask you guys to give me feedback, give me comments, what do you guys think? I've had comments on my channel where I say one thing and I go back and I say, you know what? That's right. You are right. I'm wrong. I missed that. Glad you put that there. Because I don't want to be right. That ain't what my goal is. I just want to know. And so 80%, 5,000, right? Less than 5,000. And so she's like, save that up. Now, okay, let's say by some miracle, you get to 21,000. There you are. 21K in your savings account, 0% interest, sitting there doing nothing. Inflation is burning it away. Government printing is destroying it. Just no good reason to stack money in the bank unless you're going to use the money for something good, something smart. So 21,000, she says, an emergency shows up. We'll just put an E for emergency. Now you need, let's say you lose your job. Your bills are $3,000 a month. Takes you 3 months to find a good job again. Now you're down, what's that? 9, 10, 5. We'll just call it, say even 20 and say you lost another 10. Now you're down 10K. Now you only have 10K left in your savings. Now I know what you're thinking. See, that's why we save, so we can protect ourselves. I still have the 10K. Number one, most people can't do this, and most people's bills are more than this. Number two, you're looking at it the wrong way. See, when you look at it, you say, see, I still have 10K, bro. Even though I lost the 10K in the emergency, that's why I saved it. I still got the 10K. And then I'm going to say, you fool. Now, I'm not going to say that. But I like the Ninja Turtles. When Shredder says, you fool. This is what should have happened. When you had the 21,000 in the account, you should have gone into the account and taken out 10. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be 10 exactly, but I'm just using an example. You should have went into your account taken out 10 on your own. Use that 10 to acquire, build, develop some type of asset. Allow that asset to grow and make cash flow. Use that money to buy your liability. But Sean, what if an emergency happens? Okay, what if it does? Again, how do you take care of yourself if you have a savings account and you have an emergency? Oh, I go into my savings, which is what she recommended. I don't recommend that. I recommend before you have the emergency, use the money to create an asset that makes cash flow. Now you don't have to worry about stacking money in the bank. Why? Because of cash flow. Like Myron Golden said, y'all tracking? If you ain't tracking, you're lacking. Don't be slacking. Okay, jacking and jilling. So you could pay for your emergency from your savings, but by the way, when you spend it, it's zero. They don't put it back in there. You got to go to work again. You spend cash flow, it comes back. Whatever the sign is for, over and over again. It just comes back. Why? Because you still own the asset. Let me know in the comments if this makes sense to you. I apologize if I confused you or if I didn't do a good job with it, but my time's up. I got to go meet the guys, play some hoops. That's what I'm doing today. I told you I don't have a job. I just keep telling people that. I don't know why people don't believe me. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about that. I got to go. Let me know if you want to get into the class. Only a few. I'm going to limit it to only a few students per month because I work one-on-one with you to help you build your business all the way. And that takes time. So not a lot of time, but I do like to spend time with all my students. So put the word middleman in the comments below to get the free training. Email me if you need to, middlemanceoinfo@gmail.com. And if you are ready to dive right into the masterclass, go to middlemanCEO.com. All right, and if you're a service business provider anywhere in America, go to freequotebuddy.com, list your company to start matching with customers. All right, go over there and do that. Go check it out. Tell somebody else about it. I have to go. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know in the comments what you think about what I had to say. If it was beneficial, if you agree, if you don't agree, let me know. All right, I got to go, guys. Peace.